Hey friend, Graham Cochrane here. Today I want to let you in on a little secret. If you're trying to start a business, launch a product, or just go from 5 figures a year in a part-time business to 6 figures a year full-time, you need massive output, right? I think this much is obvious. Growing a business and starting a business takes work. But what might not be so obvious is that ignorance is the best way to achieve that success. You see, what most people fail to realize is they are killing their chances of success right out of the gate simply because they're too connected, too aware of what everyone else is doing, and stuffed to the brim with tactics, techniques, and strategies. Ironically, by simply putting your head down, plugging your ears, and ignoring all the noise, you'll achieve more success in less time, and the best part about it, with more joy. Now, Tim Ferriss wrote an amazing book called The 4-Hour Workweek, and in this book, there's this mind-blowing chapter called The Low Information Diet. And at the very beginning of this chapter, there's this amazing quote from Nobel Prize winner Herbert Simon. He says, "What information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. Hence, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention." What Simon is saying is, where there's lots of information, there's less attention. A wealth of information creates a poverty or a lack of attention. And you and I need attention and focus to get things done. And it just so happens we are living in the information age. Maybe we're past that age. Whatever it is, there's too much information at our disposal. And no other time in history, even in modern history, have we had this much information in our faces, screaming for our attention. This is why we can't get anything done. There is too much information consuming what little attention and brain power we have. Now, later in this chapter, Tim Ferriss goes on to say that most information is time-consuming, negative, irrelevant to your goals, and get this, outside of your influence. Now, if that doesn't sum up social media to a T, then I don't know what does. Social media is time-consuming, it's very negative, it's very irrelevant to your goals, and it is always outside of your influence, and yet this is one of the biggest things vying for our attention today. And one of the biggest reasons why people can't get businesses off the ground. They just are obsessed with consuming information, and they have little left over to then use to build their own dreams. If you want to create massive output this year, you're going to have to severely reduce the amount of information you consume. This means fewer books, articles, blog posts, magazines, TV shows, YouTube videos, podcasts, fewer conferences, fewer online classes. Cut all of it way back. And yes, that might even include my own content. If you're consuming nothing but content like mine and not outputting, you're not going to get anywhere. And I'm here to help you grow and start a business. I want you to get results, not just more information. Yes, learn what you need to learn, but then shift from consumption to production. Now, another way ignorance can help you is that so many small business owners, especially people I talk to, fall prey to this false pressure that they need to do all the things. Okay, this is what leads to this hustle or die, this grind or die mentality. And I've already told you that hustling is a myth. But because we can see what everyone else is doing out there in the world, we now know of all these things we're supposed to be doing in our businesses. Whether you see someone doing webinars or Facebook ads or tripwire products, whatever it is, we see them do it. We assume that they're doing it, must be working for them, therefore we should do it. And there's two problems with this way of living. One, just because something, some tactic or strategy is working for one business over here has no bearing on whether it's going to work for you. You don't know their situation. You don't know their financials. You don't know the way it integrates with their larger strategy. And second of all, just because you see someone talking about a technique or doing a technique doesn't mean it's actually working for them. This is one of the most common problems. There are businesses out there that say they're doing a tactic, or you just see them pulling something off and you think it's making them money, but 9 times out of 10, it's probably not making them money. And then what happens? You go and copy that tactic. Oh, they're doing Facebook ads. I should do Facebook ads. When They're probably losing money on their Facebook ads, and then you're gonna go lose your money on your Facebook ads, but you have no idea that you're falling for a common trap. They're not trying to trick you. No one's trying to trap you. It's just the comparison trap of, oh, they're doing that, they're doing that, they're doing that. I guess I should do that. That goes back to the hustle mentality, which is laziness, which leads to burnout and workaholism because you're doing all the things instead of stopping for a second and saying, what are the few strategic things that I should be doing based off of what I know works for me, and just doing those things? Look, business is not that complicated. It's hard work, but it's not complicated. Learn the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 techniques or strategies that work for you and your business, and then rinse and repeat. Do them day in and day out. It is not sexy. It is not trendy. You will feel weird talking to your other business friends that are doing all the things, but trust me, if it's making you money and serving your customers well, that's all that matters. My business is ridiculously simple. I feel super awkward talking to high performers, but it makes tons of money with little output, and people are happy, and I don't have to do all the things. So trust me, simplicity works, but it takes a little bit of stepping back, ignoring the noise, saying I don't need to do all the things, I just need to do the 1 or 2 things that really move the needle. Now, US President Theodore Roosevelt has this amazing quote that you might have seen floating around. He says, comparison is the thief of joy. I couldn't put it more clearly than good old Theo. When you compare your life to what someone else is doing, it robs your joy more often than not. Just think about my kids, for example. One of my daughters could be sitting down with 2 amazing Girl Scout cookies, right? Let's say Samoas or Thin Mints or whatever your deal is. She's got those 2 cookies. She's so happy because she gets to have 2 amazing cookies and she's ready to rock. And then her sister comes in and on her plate, there are 3 cookies. She looks over and says, I want 3 cookies. Instantly, what once was all satisfying and all happiness and rainbows, the 2 cookies, is now not enough because she's aware that, wait, I can have 3 cookies? It's kind of obvious when you think about it, right? It's funny, but this is exactly what happens to us. We have been given so many wonderful gifts. We are so blessed. If you have the internet, that you're able to watch this video right now, you are blessed more than most. You have a certain level of wealth and opportunities. It may be different than mine or someone else's, but it's enough that you could build something substantial, make a life for yourself. You have talents, you have abilities, you have a mind that's sharp and ready to get to work. You have so many good gifts that God's given you. And yet the moment you see what someone else has, it's not enough. And it's not just you. It's me, and it never seems to end, and I hate it. I want to be content. I want to be filled with joy. And I'm a human being, so I'm gonna falter at this. But you know what doesn't help is comparison. Every time you see someone doing something great, something that you aren't currently doing, or having something that you don't currently have in your life or business, it has the potential to steal your joy and completely change your perspective on your current situation. Most of the time for the worse. Why would we do this to ourselves? Here's my counsel to you. You need to be careful who you follow on social media. You need to be careful whose email list you're on. You need to be careful what books you read and what webinars you go to, because they can all be leading you to a joyless, bitter, resentful, never satiated, never satisfied way of doing life, even in the midst of potential success in your business, which is almost the worst when you have achieved your goals or success and you can't even enjoy it. So I would tell you, as soon as this video is done, and it's almost done, I would pull up every social media account you have and go through and cleanse it out. Unfollow anybody and everybody whose feed, whether intentional or not, makes you feel less than. This is not a knock on them. This is not a knock on successful people, because there are people that flaunt and they do social media just to make themselves look good and you look bad. But a lot of times it's very well-meaning people who are just experiencing a lot of success, and it just may not be good for your heart to see a lot of that. So I would remove that stumbling block, get rid of that opportunity for you to feel so, oh, I wish I had that, by just unfollowing them. You just don't need to see it. There's no offense to them. There's no hard feelings. Look, Guys, I don't even follow some of my best friends. I don't even follow one of my business partners. I'm not on his email list. I don't think I follow him on social because there was a time when I was comparing my business to his, and we have another business that we run together. So anytime you need to unfollow somebody to help your heart be in a better place, it's worth doing. Remember, your time and your brain power are limited. So to free up both, you need to learn to cultivate selective ignorance, as Tim Ferriss would say. Put your head down, ignore the noise, do your work, create massive output, and you will see success. Yes, you might miss out on what other people are doing. Yes, you might be in the dark about what everyone else is doing. But does that matter if you're achieving your goals? Who cares what everyone else is doing? What you are doing for your clients or customers is all that matters. Now let me help you out. If you're ready to start a new business this year, or if you're ready to transition out of a day job into work that's more meaningful, work that you care about and love, and build a business based around your talents, your strengths, your loves, your passions, a business that's flexible, a business that has unlimited potential to grow, a business that's lined up with your values, but you're overwhelmed because there's so much information out there and so many people talking about what to do, let me help you out. Download my free training called Get Paid to Do What You Love. In this 45-minute audio training, I'm gonna give you the 3 steps, the 3 pillars of transitioning from what you're doing now into creating an income that comes in based off of what you know and what you love. I'm not promising that any of this is easy, but I will promise to make it simple and clear for you. You go through this training, you'll know exactly what steps to take. The path will be laid out for you clearly, and I promise you it will inspire you and motivate you and point you in the right direction so you can ignore 99% of the noise out there and do the things that matter, do the things that will get you to your desired goal, create massive output, serve tons of people, which will put money in your pocket. Click the link below or in the description box of this video and download the training now as my gift to you. I'm excited for you to check it out, and I can't wait to hear what you do with the information inside. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to these videos. Now go out there and embrace the power of being ignorant.